going on, guys? Team Milestone here. Nathan, Lane, for those of you that don't know us. We put up on both our individual stories across Milestone Strengths page and my own for a Q&O? It's like
Q&O cruises.
Yeah,
yes.
For a Q&A. For those of you that have just general fitness related questions, this is the time. So we've already gotten a bunch of them written down.
Plenty of them.
The first and biggest question we got asked in a lot of different forms was about protein and supplementation. So Lane, let's go quickly into what protein and supplements mean.
Yeah, for sure. So supplements are exactly that. They're a supplementation to your diet. You know, healthy eating is number one. These are a few little tools to add on to your diet to make it a little bit easier for you to get the results you're after.
Help with the recovery, with building that muscle that you want. The ideal time to have sort of a protein is straight after working out. You've got that window. I generally hit it sort of 20 minutes after I work out. I have a shaker in my bag and I smash that down straight after working out. Now, the other question we got asked a lot is it better to have whey, concentrate, vegan proteins? What do you recommend?
6 to 1, really. The difference that's going to be is a fraction of a percent. So whatever your personal preference is, whatever fits your lifestyle best.
You do you, baby girl.
Exactly.
Next question.
Okay, next up we had, well, let's do a fun one.
All right, great.
What are your favorite working out shoes?
Oh, that is actually a really good question. I change my shoes depending on what exercise I'm doing. So again,
I thought you were going to be like, what weather it is.
What I feel like. No, depending on what workout I'm doing. So I have a few basic ones. I train in Nike Vapor Max a lot. They're the ones with the bubble soles that Lane hates. I love. Those, and I also train in Converse. I train in flat Converse. Anytime I'm doing heavy lifting, so squatting or deadlifting, I train in flat shoes, Converse. Any other time, I train in my Nikes.
Nice. I have fancy shoes because I pretend to be a powerlifter still. So I have some high heels, but mainly Connies.
Yeah, it's high heels. I should say that they're weightlifting high heels. They're not just like stilettos. All right, next question. And colour is important. I stick to black and white normally.
I have fluoro green, actually.
Have some bigger Hulk.
Yep. Best cardio to lose weight.
Oh, now this is, again, it's going to be a personal thing. It's depending on what sort of training you enjoy and how much time you want to put into it.
Absolutely. And so high intensity interval training, that kind of going flat out for 20 seconds, rest for 10 seconds.
Which is a lot of the videos you'll see we post of me doing burpee, box jumps, battle ropes, that type of training.
That kind of stuff. That's great for burning fat. Takes a fair bit to recover from. Takes a lot of effort. So if you've got the time and you can recover, you can start there. But if you don't, a good thing is low intensity training. It's still going to burn fat, not quite as much, but long walks, long, slow cycles. Again, whatever fits your lifestyle and your training best and what you can cope with. I've recently taken up running. I like running. Some people hate it. That guy. Whatever you want to do. So just be out there, be active and get moving.
Good answer.
This is a good one too. We've got a lot of good questions.
Yeah, thank you everyone for writing back to these, by the way. It makes our job a lot easier when we know what you want to know. And we know what you want to know?
Yeah, otherwise we just literally review Marvel movies for 3 hours.
Let's talk about Black Panther. No, go on.
Is nutrition or training more important for abs, and isolated or compound exercises when we're talking about that?
So you may have heard the saying before that abs are made in the kitchen. That doesn't mean you're whipping up a batch of abs. It means abs are entirely about diet. You have to eat well in order to reveal the abs. Your abs are going to be there. Everyone's got abs. It just depends on the level of body fat you've got covering them.
Absolutely.
Now, whether you want those thick, chunky abs, that will come down to a bit of ab work. But again, it's a personal preference thing. I like to do some ab work at the end of my workouts just because I enjoy using that core. But Lane, what do you think?
I mean, compound lifts are going to smash them. Absolutely, you've got to keep your spine stable and your core and your trunk does that job. I think a combination of both. Definitely get your compound lifts in there for sure, but get some isolated work in. It's like any other body part. You want bigger arms, you know.
You got to train them more.
Exactly right. And abs are the same, but nutrition's your first point, definitely.
Number one, nutrition.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you this.
Hit me up.
How do you stay motivated?
Now, this is a really good question and something I touch on in my other posts. If you follow me on other things, hey, thanks for that. But I think motivation's a big thing. It comes down to what drives you. What are your goals? Setting goals that you want to achieve, that you're not just like you're doing them because you think you should, you're doing them because you actually want to achieve them. I want to be a better person every day. So I go to the gym because it motivates me to try and be better. If you want that six-pack for summer, well, that's your motivation. if you want to be able to do a backflip, you want to be able to lift 200 kilos deadlift, whatever it is, find those goals that are going to keep you driven and then work tirelessly at them. There's something very satisfying with achieving goals and knowing that you put in the work to get there.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. That's a fantastic answer.
Thanks, Lane.
When you travel, we've both done a fair bit of that. Do
Yeah.
you like to focus on full body training, or do you stick to your splits, your push, pull, legs?
This is a really good question, and we may have different answers. It depends on, one, where I'm traveling, the accessibility to gym equipment. So if I'm traveling for 4 or 5 weeks at a time, and I know I'm just going to be in hotel rooms, Airbnbs, whatever it is, often you don't have the best access to equipment.
For sure.
So I tend to actually do like a whole body workout more often, high intensity with what I've got. If I've got 4 sets of dumbbells, well, I can't do a full back workout with that. So I tend to go all body for those few weeks and then make up for it when I get back.
Yeah, cool. I'm similar. I struggle a lot when I travel. It's one of my main, it's the main time I struggle with motivation for training. So I try and run a lot, or I'll try and find a powerlifting gym. I find in the powerlifting community, when I travel, there's always someone there to push you pretty hard. So yeah, different answers, but as a coach, I would recommend always the full body. Get as much work done with that minimal time that you've got.
Perfect.
Sweet. Stretching, before or after?
You can take this one. This is where I know I have room for improvement. I'm not very good at mobility or stretching. So.
Yes. So in terms of static stretching and mobility work, outright mobility work, we're going to put it after our training.
What's static stretching for those?
Static stretching is stuff like this. So you get into a stretch position, you hold, you shake it out. Dynamic stretching is a bit more that kind of work, warming up through a range of motion. That's what you'd like to see at the start of a workout. You want to get your body comfortable moving through the range that it's about to do with any exercises. And then you use that static stretching to help your recovery. It calms you down, get your heart rate back down to normal. And in terms of mobility, again, we want to take our arms, our legs, whatever joint we're working on, through the entire range of motion. So it's supposed to be a little bit uncomfortable, but definitely something to focus on.
Thoughts on intermittent fasting? This is a good one. A lot of people ask about how I structure my diet personally. And this is something that I actually recently came to Lane with this question, asking him what his thoughts on intermittent fasting were for me. What was your answer to that question, Lane?
Intermittent fasting is an excellent way to control the amount of calories you eat. So if you struggle with overeating purely from a time perspective, intermittent fasting is restricted fasting. So you only eat for a 6 or 8 hour window per day. It can be very difficult for some people to overeat in that time, and it's not a license to go pig out. You should still be eating relatively whole foods and
consciously.
Yeah, absolutely. Intermittent fasting, like I said, works great for managing calories. In terms of trying to build muscle, if you are trying to actively gain muscle, probably not the best option. You will not remain as anabolic because you don't have as much food in your system. If you're trying to cut, and your protein stays nice and high, you'll get out of trouble. Excellent way to manage it. If you like the lifestyle and you're trying to bulk, throw in a couple of protein shakes outside that window. Guarantee you'll get more success with that.
Perfect. The answer to the question was I don't do intermittent fasting, by the way. We realised that just the amount of calories I need to consume in order to keep up with the workload I put in, it just didn't make sense for me at this period.
How long should the bulk season be?
Now this is an interesting one. People ask me how long I bulk for. I personally don't bulk. I kind of stick with like a lean bulk all year round. So I'm eating, again, conscientiously, how's that for a word to put in with diet, and consistently to create muscle mass, but also stay at a low body fat percentage. That's how I prefer to do it. It's a longer, harder process than having a dirty bulk, as they call them. But that's how I prefer to do things.
When I'm coaching anyone, I recommend 12 to 14 weeks, the maximum amount of time you do anything for, whether that's bulking, trying to get bigger, massing, whatever you want to call it, cutting, trying to lose weight, trying to lose fat, or maintaining. Our metabolism responds to whatever we really do to it, but we've got to give it time to adapt. So about that 12 to 14 week mark is about how long you should be doing anything. Hard gainers. Nathan, you were a relatively hard gainer. You've come a long way since you first started lifting weights.
Yep.
What kind of strategies did you use when you first started, before you knew what you know about training and diet now? What helped you? What helped you along the way? What were a few aha moments for you?
The first thing is just getting in there and having a go, trying different things and having an open mind towards different practices. I've been very lucky in having Lane as a friend before we were business partners, so sort of like give me his ideas on training and picking up bits and pieces here and there, and then just learning what works for me. I find I actually train really well by myself with heavy metal in and just getting it done because I work out pretty hard and pretty heavy. Some people need to have a spotter there, someone to coach them and really encourage them to get it done. Depends on your personal preference in that, but I think the biggest thing I would say is just taking bits of inspiration and cues from other people.
Cool.
And just combining them together into my own practice. And that's how we created Milestone. That's what Milestone is. Milestone started because we didn't want to just do a powerlifting diet, or we didn't want to just do strongman training or just bodybuilding. We kind of took cues from all different sort of modalities of training and combined them together to create Milestone. So hopefully you can just listen to us and we'll tell you what to do.
Lucky last question, and this is particularly relevant because some awesome data has been collected on this over the last few years, and we've kind of just published it, and the answer will shock you. Probably won't shock you. High reps or low reps for building muscle? Should we be going sets of 5 or sets of 12? And the answer is it doesn't really matter. I know.
Great news, right?
Outrageous. What matters is that we're lifting relatively heavy for the amount of reps we're going to do, and that we've got a couple of reps in the tank. For any of you who have worked with us in our programs, you'll know that we always leave 1 to 2 reps in reserve or in the tank.
We don't go to failure.
We don't go to failure. You can do this with heavy weights, light weights, or moderate weights. What's important is that you're getting pretty close to failure, but not quite there. You're training each body part twice a week at a minimum. Your little body parts, you can probably train more. And the biggest thing is you're recovering. Rest, recovery. A huge thing that Nathan and I have worked on together is the amount of time spent in the gym and the amount of time at home recovering. A lot of people give Nathan a whole bunch of crap for training twice a day. He shouldn't get it because he sleeps, he eats, he relaxes. If you can recover from what you're doing in the gym, perfect. That's how we get better and better and better. I can only train once a day. I'm a broken old man. Nate trains twice a day. And
just less broken, but I am older.
Less broken and older, but still recovers from it, you know? And you've got to find out what works for you, or get yourself a coach who can figure that out for you, right?
That's what we got Lane here for. So that's what he's essentially saying, come to me and I'll help everything.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
But again, it is a personal thing. So you work out what you like training. You might like lifting heavy for only 5 reps. You want to do 5 sets of 5. And if that works for you, that's great. You might find, actually, I only want to do 3 sets of 12. Whatever works for you, whatever you enjoy doing, whatever's going to keep you motivated, that's the way to train.
Exactly. And the key is don't get lazy on your 5x5s. Don't just do 5 reps with 60 kilos because you think that's they said I could do 5. You still got to work hard. We don't get anything in life, but especially with training, without working hard. You want to run a 10K, you got to run. You want to bench press double body weight, you got to put the work in.
Training is simple, but it doesn't mean it's easy.
No, absolutely not.
All right, that'll do it for now. We have other questions, but you don't want to listen to us for that much longer because I'm bored of us, to be honest. So,
Wow.
But we will do this again. If you guys like this, let us know. Give us feedback, what you want to see more of. If you don't like our accents, too bad, we can't change that.
I can try.
All right, we're answering my best from now on.
I don't know why it's high pitched.
Yeah, okay. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the gym.
See ya.